Hey there, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. Can you hear me okay?
I can. I saw your post that you woke up a little congested today, so I hope you're
A little bit, but I took an immunity shot from the tea place. I upped my supplements, so I'm like, we're gonna get through and just like share this information because I was like, this topic has been so perfect. It's like since we chose what we were gonna talk about and what we were gonna share, it's like conversations have aligned and these topics have just like come up consistently, and I'm like, we made the right choice for sure.
good. Good. Well, I'm excited to hear what you have to say. And before we get going, I just want to share a little bit about you as an operations strategist and the founder and CEO of Amplified Innovation. You really help entrepreneurs plan, build, and implement their operations foundation so that they can really thrive in their zone of genius because operations is your zone of genius. So excited to hear what you have to say. And can you tell us a little bit about Amplified Innovation and how you serve your clients?
Yeah, absolutely. So we work alongside mission-driven business owners, right? And like you said, we want to help you thrive in your zone of genius and help take, the hassle off of that. As entrepreneurs, we start out and there's this narrative that, oh, it's alone, right? It's an independent journey, but it doesn't mean we have to be alone. And there's a lot of juggling we all do in the beginning, but then there's a shift of when do we ask for help, what type of help, what makes the most sense, and like when's the time for that? And that's such a common question. And so that kind of leads me to what I do for businesses of like coming in alongside like those partnerships, the collaboration, and what we co-create together, because so many of us have, you know, the entrepreneurs we work with have big visions and big ideas and they're doing good things, and we just want to come alongside and help you all do more good things and do it with more ease and flow to honor both yourself, your teams, your clients, and like the lifestyle that you're looking to cultivate in
Mhm.
addition to like this part itself.
Yeah, I think when we met and we've been in groups and things before together, but I feel like that's what really sort of sets you and Amplified Innovation apart is that you are really bringing those values to the table of ease and balance and flow and kind of it more of maybe a feminine approach to operations than the traditional like you just offload it to someone and then don't think about it. It really does seem like a collaboration with your team. So I think that is probably going to come through today when you talk about the three steps to get the right team synced up with you in terms of operations. So we'll dive into that now if you're ready.
I'm ready. Absolutely.
Great. Well, do you want to share the 3 points and then maybe we'll dig into some questions around those?
Yeah, so we're a very meet you where you are approach, and so I like to just share that from that space. And with entrepreneurs, everyone's in a different season. So the three steps are, yes, the action comes, and yes, there's a lot of independent pieces that are like spin-offs of these 3 points. But I really wanted to get down to like the biggest one is believing you're worthy of the support. Like right now in this very season, like you are worthy. There's nothing you have to do to earn it or get there or a mile marker. Like you are worthy of support in your business, operation and otherwise, right? So that's a narrative of like, we want to shift because that false belief can hold us back in so many different ways. So like that's always my first tip of like, if you're looking to get operations, looking to get support, like shifting that mentality, like you could have it right now and you're worthy of it. And then the second is asking for help, right, from a professional to support you in your business. It's the asking, because we can get intimidated by all those spin-off pieces of what do I ask, how do I know what I need. Just ask, right? Like once you get the narrative of like I am worthy and this support is for me, asking the professionals, right? Asking a right professional who like it lights them up, what you like, that space that they're in, if they're lit up by it, ask them for that help, right? And the rest kind of flows naturally. And then the third is when you're talking to these service providers, operations and otherwise, like where is the core alignment, right? Like with your vision, you're in business, you're doing this, you're operating from a place of your core values, and that's so very important in how you honor it. And the service providers that you find in operations, because they're in your business with you, alongside you, that core value alignment is so important, and it's going to be a foundational piece of every component of operations as you scale and as you grow your team. So those are the three, like a little bit, I think, unconventional than what people would say of like, it may affect, but I think like it's the root of it. It's like the essence of you, essence of your business. And it's the starting point because I see so many people saying, you know, oh, I don't need that, or it's not time. No, you're worthy today. So that's where I encourage everyone to start.
Yeah, those are three great starting points and steps to getting that alignment. And I think that the other element of this is looking at operations as kind of foundational support. I think people maybe look at it as secondary, or like you said, not feeling like they're ready for it yet. But if they do get the right operation support, it can really create more of that flow and ease and bring in whatever their mission and their values are. It can bring those to the forefront rather than having the entrepreneur or the small team sort of overwhelmed and not really in sync, or having those systems in place that keep things in sync. So I love that you mentioned all of those. So let's see if you help us understand what type of operational support we might need, because somebody might come to this and say, whoa, operations, that's a big topic. Like, I'm wearing all the hats as the entrepreneur. How do I know what type of operational support I need?
Well, and that can vary, right? That's where it gets unique to like meet you where you are approach, and where it doesn't have to be overwhelming, right? It can look in different levels, and sometimes it's just guidance, right? Guidance to consider operations as you're moving through on things, because as entrepreneurs, we've all been there where we get on autopilot. We're wearing those hats, we're running through the motions, and we're not necessarily documenting things. We're not writing things down. So the operation support can look differently, where maybe you don't need a full-scale team yet, but you're still worthy of the operations space of like, okay, what is my plan for looking at the departments and the vision overall of what my business is eventually going to be, and what are the task and the order that I need for each of these areas, right? And so an operations professional can come alongside you even with that initial guidance to give you a framework, so that as you're working through those steps as a solopreneur, before you bring on support, you are still guided in terms of, okay, I got to remember to write this down. I can record myself very easily. I need to capture those things that live in my head, right? There's someone that can help you in that season that you're in still be mindful of operations development in a way that isn't taking away from your zone of genius, but is complementary to it, in that way when you get ready for higher level support where someone's coming in your business, whether that be an intern, a partner, operations, or other outsourced service providers, you have things kind of written down, and it gives you a little bit more clarity and confidence when you're bringing on those collaborations and partnerships for your team. And so it can be customized to you and the season you're in based upon current business needs. But the key thing is documenting as you go, right? Like writing those things down, that what you're doing every step of the way holds value and is a foundational piece of where you go next. I mean, each component of your business.
Yes. Seems like operational support can really help you be more forward thinking, but also leverage what you're actually doing now. Because I find that a lot with my coaching clients when they come in and they want to bring on additional support staff, either externally or internally. They get kind of stuck in that feeling that they have to train them. And, you know, it's this big kind of sense of overwhelm of bringing someone else on board. But when you've already been working with an
Okay.
when you are in that space and you have a little bit of operation support, it's going to get you prepped and prepared to bring on people in the future. And like you said, leverage what you're already doing through technology. We can now record our steps pretty easily so that we don't have to go back and, you know, train for the same thing over and over again. And I think a good operations support team can help you do that from the get-go. Even if it's just you, honestly, you know, doing all of your business and task oriented things. So those are great points. What do you feel like an operations team should do for you while you sleep?
I think it's the benefit of you're in this with someone else, right? They whether they've given you guidance at that early stage or whether they are in your business with you, that things are set up in a way foundationally where systems are running on the back end, right? Things are in place and secure so that when you're away on vacation, when you're taking a breather, when you're present in client meetings, everything else within your business is running as smoothly as possible in a way as if you were touching it, right? It's a very personalized approach is how we believe in things. We want to honor every founder that we work with, and they were once doing this oftentimes independently, all alone. And so it's that's where that the core value alignment comes back around. How are they investing in your business with you to put systems in place and procedures in place on the back end so things run in a way as if you were still touching it, that the client touch, the customer journey of who you're working with still holds that personalization and the relationship piece of like what it is when you get a solopreneur or the independent founder when you're working one-on-one. You still want to have that an extension of. And so like map out those plans, right? Just knowing too, because we've all been there when we first launched, and then even years and years it's in our headspace, like it's running all the time, right? Our new ideas, and where's that stored? Where's that going? And knowing that you're not the only person thinking about that anymore. You have someone on your side that is showing up in their zone of genius to take your great ideas and like putting the pieces together. And so like that's running, with systems and programs, and that can look different, but those systems and programs also honoring your thought process and capturing so that like things aren't getting lost in the hustle of life, and it's like it's still being taken care of, and just that co-collaboration of all the pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an excellent point. And I think, again, that personal touch that Amplified Innovation provides is really, it's so valuable, because I hear that over and over again, is this sense that like nobody else can do it like I can do it. I'm really sensitive about communicating with my clients. I don't want someone else communicating with my clients in a way that doesn't sync up with who I am and the type of experience that I want to deliver. So it sounds like you really listen to your clients to make sure that you are delivering that type of experience for their customers and their business, and you're an extension of their business essentially, which is really wonderful to hear. So the last question is just, what are the essentials that we should look for when we are hiring an operations support team? And I think like for me, just hearing this conversation, definitely an essential for me would be those core values, and realizing that you were going to listen to what I was trying to deliver through my business, and that you were going to honor that and bring that into your processes and the way that your team was going to support me.
Absolutely. Yeah, core value alignment's going to be huge, because it goes into like how you're communicating with each other, that relationship, that trust. It makes it more easeful to trust and be able to release those things. Delegation is not easy. We're very sensitive and mindful of the topic of how we intentionally go about the release, but it is from a place of support of that we want you to be able to release what isn't serving you, so you can spend that time and that spaciousness on other things. And so those essentials would be along the lines of, what does that look like in terms of the day-to-day communication? What does that look like in terms of leadership and the documentation? How does that fit into overall vision of when you're working on the day-to-day and long-term, together? What is their flow of planning? Like, is it, going to meet you where you are and challenge you in the right ways? Or is it going to hinder you, right? Clarifying the type of professional service that this support person provides, right? It's, you need task doers at times, and there's seasons of business where you need heavy task, and there's operations and there's plannings, and you're still the primary integrator. So there's that piece of being very clear on the roles, and the right professional is going to walk through that with you so that you are honoring what, releasing what depletes you and focusing on what lights you up, and then delegating accordingly. Like, it's an essential flow of the mapping out of what that's going to look like for determining what those essentials are and how that meets, because there's excellent professionals that are really good doers and really good implementers, but you need the planning piece. And so many times they're with those who do hire support individuals, not necessarily because there was anything wrong with the production of work or the deliverables or the work ethic of whoever else that they brought on, but it was that they needed that operations piece. So like really recognizing the planning and the structure and the strategy is so very important alongside the implementation of the doing, and how that integrates, and that someone understands the value of that and understands the value of their zone of genius and their limitations, as well as like, okay, it's time to tap someone else in, or this is better aligned, and just honors that space of the collaboration, and how it brings the magic together.
Yes, absolutely. So I think that, is giving us the idea that when we're looking for operation support, we do really want to look at the whole picture of our business. And when we're interviewing for the right support, we want to hear that person also reflecting that in the questions that they're asking, because you don't necessarily, I mean, you may just at that point need something that's task oriented, but if you don't kind of have that bigger vision, then you're going to run into roadblocks. It's almost like building a house without a general contractor. You can get all of the, the pieces of the puzzle and the different elements together, but if there's no synchronicity or interaction amongst all those different elements or pieces of support, then there's probably going to be miscommunication, overlap, and more of a headache for you as the business owner. So love that essentially it's going to give you that clarity and peace of mind that things are being addressed, not just by you, but else in the background. And that I think is really key to helping you feel more balanced in your business and feeling like, you have control of the reins, but you also have support to get you where you're going. So.
Absolutely. Yep. An aligned flow and just leveraging everyone's zone of genius and the individuality of what they bring to the table, and knowing that it's possible and you're worthy of it is like, and once you're in that flow, it's going to naturally, the right people, right seats, and how it all comes together. So, and just everyone's worthy of operation support from the get-go, and it can really, like you said, keep you from spinning wheels out, kind of like, keep that direction and flow on the day-to-day and the long-term side of things.
Absolutely. So if people want to have a conversation with you to see how operation support might work in their business, how should they get in touch with you, and what's the process?
Absolutely. I offer free discovery calls. All those consultation calls are free. We hop on the line. We learn more about your business and where you are, if there are any pain points and things like that, and just get to the essence of who you are, the essence of your business, and determine what type of support may be aligned, whether that's with me or with someone else. I always want to, hold space for that. So those calls are always free. That can be accessed through my Instagram or through my website at amplifiedinnovation.co. And those calls can be booked directly through Calendly. And I keep it pretty spacious and a good variety to meet everyone on the schedules, because I know a lot of us are, we're multitasking with multiple businesses or jobs and kids and all of those things. So I try to keep that spacious for everyone for accessibility.
Nice. So yeah, from the get-go, like living your values, even from that discovery call. I love that. All right. Well, so much, Sierra. I really appreciate you coming on, explaining a little bit more about the world of operations and how we might be able to implement that, or collaborate with an operations team in our own business, no matter how early or small our business is at the moment. So.
Absolutely. I so appreciate you having me. And if there's anything I can do for you or anyone else, I'm so happy just to always have conversations. So thank you so much. And I love being here today.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye. Bye.